Oh yeah. Back then, had a big old
I knew he was
head of hair.
I knew he was a writer for Carlin, as was
Yeah.
Jay Leno at the time.
Really?
Yeah, whatever happened to Jay's talent?
Yeah.
Hey, when he was on the road, he was hilarious.
Yeah, and then Michael Armstrong opens for him in Vegas.
Oh, really?
And-
Now he does?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I
wow,
said,
I bet he can't follow Armstrong. Armstrong's funny.
well, I think he's only allowed to do like
Like 15 minutes?
15, 20
yeah,
minutes.
otherwise forget
And he,
about
and
it.
he, and he, he's got to pick his jokes properly. I said, well, what's Jay like? He says, Jeff, in the 5 years I've opened for him, he said 3 words to me. How are they? Because he says I would come on stage right and go off stage left. Jay would do the same, so I'd never really seen.
So you didn't even talk to
I
him?
didn't really talk to him. He said. Good morning, everybody. Frankie, Paul. Oh, who have you opened for has made it big, or?
Opened for a lot of guys while they were big.
Yeah.
Paul Reiser, I worked with him.
How was he as a person? He's gone on the TV.
He was all right. He was just
Yeah.
a regular dude. Worked with him. Worked a lot with Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong back
Yeah.
in the day. Before his wife started opening the show for him, he and I used to do a lot of shows together.
What's her name? Shelley?
Yes, it was Sky. At the
Oh yeah,
time.
that's right. Yeah, that's
At the
right.
time, it was
And
Sky.
you may have seen her in many of the Cheech and Chong movies.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I opened, not too far long ago, opened for the Beach Boys. And
We're really squabbling today.
they were, yeah, that's
Oh.
what it was. That was so funny because we were backstage in the green room, and the band, of course, is just a bunch of guys that are my age, and then you got Mike and what's his face,
Al Jardine, Tom Johnson, Brian
Yeah.
Wilson.
Brian, and they would just argue. Him
Well-
and Brian and Mike would just argue like they've been married for 50 years.
Well, they had been.
Yeah, and so I was just in the corner, and then they would walk storming out, and the rest of the band would just start talking about it. Why they do that? Well, you know how they are, and
Yeah.
just going back and forth, back and forth.
The story this morning is Michael Love fired Brian Wilson.
Brian Wilson, like that could happen.
It did.
Oh my God,
Because
really? He
Michael-
has that power?
Yeah, he owns the band's name. He owns the
Ah! They'll get back together. They'll be married
band.
forever.
Well, Al Jardine and I forget which other of the Beach Boys.
David Marks?
Yes, David Marks.
yeah.
Have their own Beach Boys,
Oh, okay.
and they can do it because they were originals.
Right.
David Marks was original, and then he left early on, and then came back. And it's quite an amazing story. So Al Jardine tours with his own Beach Boys band and label,
Wow.
and
Huh.
now
There's Beach Boys everywhere.
exactly. Well, like we used to have platters everywhere.
Right.
Now the law has changed with it. If there's no original members of the band, they have to put in a tribute band or a review.
Oh, cover.
Cover,
We're
yeah.
a cover band now.
Yeah. 8:54 right now. Good morning. How are you? Exactly.
kidding. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That explains it.
Yeah, it does. Because Brian's 70 something, isn't he right now? Do you know? Yeah. And if I were you, Gino, if I were you, I wouldn't order the tour of Italy.
Mark said, what, a quarter of a meatball?
Quarter of
There you
meatball for
go.
Gino. 8:55 in the morning. Lovejoy comes up next with Charlotte County Speaks. Of course, tomorrow at this time he'll have radio on the air with him at 9 o'clock. Kenny's there this Friday night. I'll be there on Saturday night. Come on out to Vasani's. Call for reservations 629-9191. For any of the upcoming shows, we got some great acts coming to town and a lot of great people coming in. And next week, Carl Strong. He was a former member of Gladys Knight of the Pips.
Yeah.
He opened for them for what, 14 years, and then one night one of the Pips didn't show up, and she says, well, you know all the moves.
Yeah. Well, get on. Get dressed.
stage.
You're on.
Yeah.
5 minutes, Mr. Strong.
Yeah. Working and touring the country. I know when you come down here, your act changes a little bit, and it took time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the 6 years that we've been here,
Yeah.
It
You evolve.
you evolve at this place.
Yeah.
And the guys that get it, get it. Greg Morton, have you seen him yet?
No.
They're showing the video right now at Vasani's about Greg Morton. He's coming next month. And I'll tell you what, Frankie, He went from my top 10, which is where you're at. He went to the top 3 immediately.
Wow.
And with all the comedians that Lovejoy and I see and Mark sees, to move up that quickly,
Right.
it was amazing. Watch out, Peter.
Just to be a Mark, to be a Mark top 5 was one of the best compliments I've got. Speaking of Lovejoy, here comes a man who has very little love and even less joy.
In his life. The man who
Not
invented
much hair
Good
either.
to see you, brother.
How
I'm
you
good.
doing? You ready to fish?
I'm ready to fish on Friday night.
All right.
Friday night, we're going fishing.
Cool.
Oh, that's right. You go out with Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse and me go fishing every Friday night when I come to town.
Unbelievable. And Ken Lovejoy, of course, the inventor of Cowboys.com.
Yeah, sorry. You've already been outed. You can't cover it up.
Yeah. Your renewal is up.
Well, that's okay. Ken sat in last week for me, did the last half hour of the show, told everybody how to go get a pap smear.
You heard.
By the way, how did it come out?
That's another test.
Still wearing a diaper.
I would think you would do a self-examination for lumps every couple of months.
Yeah. That's like all the other tests I took in college. They failed that one too. 8:57 right now. Kenny, what are you talking about today? Anything special? Good.
We'll be talking with Delbert McClinton today.
Oh, that's right. Delbert McClinton's going to be on the show.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh yeah. We got some. I don't know if we get any Delbert. I'm sure Kenny does.
No, I other than what I've had to add, I'm having to reorder all that stuff. So.
Yeah, we have 2 of them. Mama's little baby.
Yeah. Oh, I put those in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you put them in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
We'll go out with that time.
All right. Sure. All right. Good.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
do that. Frankie Paul's here with us. Hey, a couple minutes left, Frankie. When people come to comedy shows, what should they expect? What's the perfect audience member you want to see?
Open-minded. If you come in just open-minded, and there's a big difference between coming to a show wanting to laugh and coming to a show with a make-me-laugh attitude. And sometimes if you got a make-me-laugh attitude, you don't, whether it's funny or not, some people will probably be challenged, but I would say 99.9% of the people that come out just want to forget everything they got to deal with for an hour and a half, and that's what we provide.
Well,
Drunk, quiet, and happy.
But usually the guy that's sitting in the front row is a make me laugh kind of guy.
Right, the arms crossed. That's the challenge. We'll sit in the back and go, all right, we're going to see who can get this guy to uncross his arms. Because once they uncross their arms, they're comfortable and into the show. They trust you now.
The night I opened with Philly Plowden, who opened for Al Ernst, 2 women sitting right in the front row, okay, sitting side by side. And I wish you could have seen, Philly says you can't write it better than that. One was wife number 1, the other was wife number 3 that finally came out married to the same guy.
And we became friends?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was classic.
We teamed up, killed him, and started a life together.
No, he asked where number 2 was. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow. Thank you all very, very much. Frankie Paul on stage tonight. Tonight at 8 o'clock, tomorrow night 8:30, and Saturday at 8:30.